Hey everyone, I never thought I'd be one of those guys sharing their personal disaster on the internet, but here I am. My name's Ethan, and up until a few weeks ago, I thought my life was pretty perfect, or at least close enough. I'm a businessman, and not to sound arrogant, but I've worked hard to build a name for myself in the industry. I thought I had it all: a successful career, a beautiful wife, and a life people envy. My wife, Lily, was a fitness enthusiast. You know the type, always in matching workout sets, carrying a water bottle that could probably survive a nuclear blast, and tracking every step on her smartwatch. She called herself a Phytonian, whatever that means, and her favorite color was pink, which she incorporated into almost every aspect of her fitness routine. Pink leggings, pink dumbbells, pink yoga mats, you name it. It was her thing, and honestly, I thought it was cute. For years, Lily seemed content with our life. She loved her workouts, her fitness community, and occasionally joining me at fancy events. But somewhere along the way, I guess she got bored. She started talking about wanting more excitement, new challenges, and how her life felt stagnant compared to the influencers she followed on social media. A few months ago, Lily came to me with an idea. "There's this fitness retreat in Miami," she said, her eyes lighting up. "It's run by some of the best trainers in the country. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity." I didn't see any harm in it. She was passionate about fitness, and if this retreat made her happy, I wasn't going to stand in the way. Besides, I thought a little time apart might be good for both of us. She could have her fitness adventure, and I could focus on work without feeling guilty about my long hours. She left a week later, practically bouncing with excitement as she boarded her flight. I stayed behind, caught up in meetings and deadlines, assuming everything was fine. It wasn't. A week after Lily left, I got a call from an unknown number. I usually ignore those, but something made me pick up. "Is this Ethan?" a deep voice asked. "Who's asking?" I said, already annoyed. "This is Marco. I'm a fitness trainer at the retreat your wife's attending." I felt a chill run down my spine. "Is Lily okay?" "Oh, she's fine," he said, his tone dripping with smugness. "In fact, she's more than fine. We've been spending a lot of time together, intimately." For a second, I couldn't speak. My mind struggled to process what I'd just heard. "What are you talking about?" I finally managed to say. Marco laughed. "Let's just say I know your wife very well, and unless you want all the juicy details and photos going public, I suggest you wire me a significant amount of money. Consider it insurance." I hung up without saying another word, my hands shaking. My mind raced. Was this some kind of sick joke? But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Lily had been distant lately, more focused on her phone than on me. And now she was hundreds of miles away, with a man who clearly had no qualms about ruining lives. After Marco's call, I sat in my office staring at my phone, my mind racing. I could feel the anger boiling up inside me, but I wasn't going to let him control the narrative, or my life. If he thought he could extort me, he had another thing coming. I wasn't about to quietly wire him money and pretend everything was fine. No, I was going to get ahead of this. That evening, I logged into my social media accounts. My followers, business colleagues, clients, and industry insiders had always known me as a polished, composed figure. This time, I decided to let them see the real me. I wrote a post that said, "To my followers, colleagues, and friends, I've learned something heartbreaking today. My wife, Lily, the woman I've shared the past 7 years of my life with, has been unfaithful. She's currently in Miami, involved with her fitness trainer. Rather than let someone else control the story or exploit my pain, I'm sharing this myself. I wish her the best in her new life. Miami seems like a good place for her to stay." I hit post before I could overthink it. Within minutes, my phone started blowing up. Likes, comments, messages of support. It was overwhelming. Some people were shocked, others outraged on my behalf, but the general sentiment was clear. I'd done the right thing by taking control of the situation. The next day, Lily called me. I didn't answer. She called again, and then again, until finally I picked up just to stop the buzzing. "What the hell, Ethan?" she shouted the moment I said hello. "What did you do?" "I told the truth," I said calmly. "Since your fitness trainer decided to call me and try to blackmail me, I figured it was better to get ahead of it." "You didn't have to post it online," she snapped. "Do you know how humiliating this is for me?" "Humiliating for you?" I repeated, my voice rising. "You're the one who cheated, Lily. You're the one who decided to throw everything away for some guy you just met. Don't try to make this about your embarrassment." She was silent for a moment before saying, "I'm coming home. We need to talk." "No, Lily," I said firmly. "Don't bother. Stay in Miami. You wanted excitement? You wanted a new life? You've got it. I'm done." What I didn't expect was for Lily to retaliate. A week after I posted about her infidelity, I was served with papers. She was suing me for defamation, claiming I damaged her reputation and career prospects in the fitness world. I couldn't believe it. She'd destroyed our marriage, and now she was trying to make me pay for exposing her betrayal? I hired the best lawyer I could find and prepared for a fight. The court battle was brutal. Lily's lawyer tried to paint me as a controlling, vengeful husband who couldn't handle his wife's independence. But my lawyer was relentless. We presented evidence, Marco's call, screenshots of their messages, and even witness statements from her fitness retreat peers. In the end, the judge dismissed her case, ruling that my post was factual and within my right to share. It was a small victory, but it came at a cost. The entire ordeal was exhausting, both emotionally and financially. When the judge dismissed Lily's case, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. It wasn't just a legal victory, it was validation. I hadn't lied, and I hadn't let myself be bullied into silence. But the relief didn't last long. Winning in court didn't undo the damage she'd caused, or the mess she'd left behind. I couldn't help but replay everything in my head. The phone call from Marco, the betrayal, the public fallout. It felt like my entire life had been flipped upside down. Even though I'd come out on top legally, I was still left with the wreckage of my marriage and the lingering sting of humiliation. The first few weeks after the court ruling were the hardest. I buried myself in work, trying to distract myself from the pain. My colleagues and clients were supportive, but the whispers and side glances were unavoidable. Everyone knew what had happened, thanks to my own post, and while most people sympathized with me, I hated the pity. Lily tried to reach out a few times after the trial. At first, her messages were angry, blaming me for ruining her life. But over time, they shifted. She started apologizing, saying she'd made a mistake and wanted to talk. I ignored every message. I didn't trust her words anymore, and I didn't see the point in rehashing the past. Then, out of nowhere, I got a call from a major business magazine. They'd heard about my post in the legal battle and wanted to do an interview. At first, I was hesitant. Did I really want to drag this story back into the spotlight? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized this was a chance to take control of the narrative. The interview wasn't just about the scandal, it was about resilience. I talked about how I'd built my business from the ground up, how I'd faced adversity in both my professional and personal life, and how I was using the experience to move forward. The article went viral, and suddenly I wasn't just a businessman. I was a symbol of perseverance. While I was rebuilding, Lily's life took a very different turn. Her reputation in the fitness community was ruined. Marco, the trainer she'd thrown everything away for, disappeared as soon as the trial started. With no job prospects and no support system, she ended up moving back to her small hometown to live with her parents. I didn't feel joy or satisfaction in seeing her fall. If anything, I felt sad for her. She'd made choices that had consequences, and now she was paying the price. But her path was no longer my concern. I had my own life to focus on. Looking back, I've learned a lot from this experience. The most important lesson: you can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you respond. Lily's betrayal was a reflection of her own issues. not a failure on my part. I did everything I could to be a good husband, and if that wasn't enough for her, that's on her, not me. I've also learned the value of honesty even when it's painful. Sharing my story publicly wasn't easy, but it allowed me to take back my power. I refused to let someone else dictate my narrative, and that decision changed everything. To anyone listening to this, my advice is simple. Know your worth. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not enough, and don't be afraid to walk away from people who don't value you. Life is too short to waste on those who can't see your worth. These days, I'm focusing on myself and my business. The magazine interview opened up new opportunities, and I've thrown myself into growing my company. I'm not in a rush to start dating again, but I'm open to the idea when the time feels right. For now, I'm just taking things one day at a time. As for Lily, I wish her the best. I hope she finds whatever it is she's looking for. But me? I'm done looking back. The future is mine, and I'm ready for it. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you have fought back like I did, or handled things differently? Let me know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.